Hello everyone, welcome to Chelsea Sport Focus. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of breaking news. Let's get started.
When the Premier League season began, few expected one of the biggest talking points by November to revolve around a public moment of regret from Xavi Simons, a player who had been hailed as one of Europe's brightest young midfielders just months earlier. His summer decision to reject Chelsea and sign for Tottenham Hotspur was one of the most debated moves of the window, dividing pundits and sparking endless fan arguments across social media. But now, barely 8 matches into his new life in North London, the 22-year-old Dutchman has set the football world on fire with a brutally honest admission: he should have joined Chelsea. The revelation hit like a thunderbolt. For Chelsea supporters, it felt like long-awaited validation. For neutral fans, it was a fascinating twist in a rivalry fueled by competition, ambition, and contrasting visions of club identity. And for Enzo Marresca, the man carefully reshaping Chelsea's future, it was confirmation of something he had always believed: Xavi Simons belonged in blue. Xavi's frustration has been building quietly behind the scenes. Tottenham had promised him a central, creative, free-roaming role, the heartbeat of a new midfield project. Instead, he found himself confined to rigid structures, deployed in uncomfortable positions, struggling to find rhythm, and adapting to a system that neither maximizes his strengths nor protects his weaknesses. In 8 Premier League appearances, he has managed only 1 assist and no goals, numbers that tell part of the story. The deeper truth lies in his body language, his reduced confidence, and the growing tension between what he was promised and what he's experiencing. Xavi is not the first big talent to struggle in the unforgiving Premier League, and he won't be the last. But his situation feels different because expectations were enormous and the pressure doubled the moment he chose Spurs over Chelsea. Inside the Chelsea camp, the reaction to Xavi's comments was immediate but discreet. Publicly, the club took the high road, keeping quiet, avoiding headlines. But behind closed doors, Marresca is said to have smiled, a small, knowing smile, because this was a door he always expected to reopen. Marresca has been tracking Xavi since his PSV days. He has repeatedly told the Chelsea board that Xavi fits exactly what he wants: a technically gifted hybrid attacker, capable of dictating tempo, creating chaos between lines, and drifting fluidly in the same pockets where Cole Palmer and Estevao thrive. Chelsea wanted Xavi last summer. More than just interest, internal discussions had taken place, early contacts were made, and plans were drafted about how he would fit into the evolving system. But Spurs moved faster. They guaranteed immediate minutes, a starring role, and a long-term plan built around him, promises that now feel distant. Sources close to the player reveal growing tension and miscommunication behind the scenes. Xavi expected responsibility. Instead, he received rotation. He expected freedom. Instead, he received instructions that limited his natural instincts. And with every match in which he struggled to influence proceedings, doubts intensified. Chelsea fans remember similar stories. Kevin De Bruyne, Mohamed Salah. Talents who needed trust, consistent roles, and platforms to express themselves fully. Under Marresca, Chelsea are not the chaotic, unpredictable side of old. The system is clear. The roles are defined. And young players, from Palmer to Caicedo to Estevao, feel empowered. That is what draws talents. That is what Xavi Simons sees now. When he publicly declared, "I should have joined Chelsea," he wasn't simply speaking about a transfer choice, he was acknowledging a football identity he now realizes fits him better. Inside Stamford Bridge, the announcement was seen as an invitation, a sign that the bridge between player and club remains intact. A senior figure reportedly told insiders that Chelsea would never close the door on a player of Xavi's profile. The club remains enthusiastic about bringing in another creative force to balance rotation and deepen their attacking structure, especially as they prepare for the next stage of Maresca's project. Financially, a January move would be complicated, but not impossible. Spurs would resist selling to a direct rival. However, the player's dissatisfaction, coupled with Chelsea's long-term plans and the club's history of pulling off unexpected winter deals, makes the situation extremely unpredictable. The dressing room has also reacted. Several Chelsea players, especially those who know Xavi from youth levels or national team camps, believe he could transform the midfield dynamic. They see the potential partnership with Palmar, the technical chemistry with Estevao, and the attacking synergy with Enzo Fernandez. A marresca system featuring the intelligence of Xavi Simons is a mouth-watering prospect that could reshape the Premier League landscape. In the broader context, his story sends a message about the evolving identity of Chelsea. Young talents across Europe are beginning to recognize the project. They see progression, opportunity, development, and trust. They see a club that is daring but calculated, ambitious yet structured. Xavi's regret is not just about missing the chance to shine under Marresca, it is about realizing that Chelsea is becoming exactly what modern players want. For Spurs, this is a blow. For Chelsea, it is a moment of patience rewarded. And for Xavi Simons, it is a crossroads he may be forced to confront sooner than anyone expected. As the January window approaches, all eyes will be on the next move. Chelsea won't rush. Spurs won't surrender. Xavi will continue to navigate his internal frustrations. But one thing is now clear, the story that almost happened last summer may only be beginning now. And Stamford Bridge, with its rising ST. Chelsea push for Julian Alvarez as Argentine star reconsiders his future at Manchester City, full journalistic story. For months, the rumours floated quietly around the edges of Premier League news cycles. Soft whispers from agents, short lines in Spanish papers, and speculative columns in Argentina all pointed toward the same growing possibility: Julian Alvarez, the World Cup winning forward who arrived at Manchester City with such high expectations, was beginning to question his long-term role under Pep Guardiola. What once sounded unthinkable is now the talk of London and Manchester alike. Chelsea, a club rebuilding identity, style, and ambition under Enzo Marresca, are pushing to become the first serious contender to test City's resolve. And Alvarez, for the first time since joining the treble winners, is listening. Sources close to Chelsea describe the club's interest as long-standing, stretching all the way back to his final months at River Plate when Europe's elite circled. Chelsea scouted him repeatedly, admired his movement, his work rate, and his eye for goal. But Manchester City moved first and sealed what looked at the time like a generational bargain. 2 years later, the dynamic has changed in ways few expected. Erling Haaland has become the immovable object at the top of the Manchester City hierarchy. Alvarez, despite developing into one of the most intelligent and versatile forwards in the world, continues to rotate between the bench, wide roles, and secondary positions that neither reflect his ambitions nor fully use his skill set. From the moment City signed Haaland, this risk hovered in the background. Alvarez wanted competition, not marginalization. He wanted to play alongside, not behind. And yet every major occasion has served as a reminder of where he stands within Guardiola's tactical structure. When the biggest Champions League and Premier League matches arrive, Guardiola almost always leans on Haaland as the central figure.